Glad to stay with us. Investors lost 1.7 trillion naira at the end of trading on the floor of the Nigerian Exchange Limited last week, following major dips in Airtel Africa PLC, Better Glass PLC, and NEM Insurance PLC stocks. The market opened the trading week with 25.91 trillion naira on October 14, 2022, to close out 24.182 trillion naira on October 21, 2022. The depreciation was majorly caused by collective loss of 2.3 trillion naira by Airtel Africa, Better Glass, and NEM Insurance at the end of the week's trading to top the losers log. Airtel Africa PLC led the losers chart, shedding 27.10% to 1,312 naira per share from 1,800 naira per share. Better Glass PLC's share also dropped 9.98% to close at 41 naira 50 kobo per share from 46 naira 10 kobo at the opening of the trading week. The local bourse closed in red, declining by 667 basis points or 6.7% week to date. The insurance index was a top loser, which declined by 370 basis points to end the week under review, with value traded at 4.4 million naira and volume traded amounting to 6.6 million units. Similarly, the oil and gas index declined by 150 basis points, with volume and value traded closing at 702,745 units and 11.7 million naira, and the consumer goods index, which declined by 90 basis points, with volume and value traded closing at 3.3 million units and 67.9 million naira respectively. On the other hand, the industrial goods and banking indices gained 320 basis points and 120 basis points respectively. The volume at the end of the week traded for both indices closed at 1.6 million units and 65.0 million units, while the value traded closed at 50 million naira and 1.7 billion naira respectively. A total turnover of 938.020 million shares worth 16.701 billion naira in 15,700 deals was traded during the week by investors on the floor of the exchange, in contrast to a total of 491.815 million shares valued at 11.922 billion naira that exchanged hands last week in 14,350 deals. Well, joining us to help make sense of this is Ambrose Omodio, the Chief Research Officer, Investita Consulting. He's right here with me in the studio. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again.
All right. Well, when we look at the market, we saw the losing indexes, and then we also saw the gaining indexes. And to a very large extent, we see that the losers outnumbered the gainers. Talk to us about this.
Actually, if you look at the market breadth, we have 33 against 29. That means the gainers are more than the
I'm looking at the percentage now.
Okay. Well, generally, look at the market as we speak. I would say that the market is still looking for a direction or a trigger. Let me use that language. Why? We saw what happened in Airtel Africa, losing for straight 3 days. That put market index to beat several cyclical line of about 47,000, 40,000, 45,000, now at 44. It tells you that it's not as a lot of market negative sentiment, because of this are the highly priced stock that control more than 70% of the index. That's why a design investor in our exchange should not be looking at index alone to take decision, because you look at sectoral index. If you look at index alone, you'll be discouraged to win in the market, because for a week market has lost 6.67% in a week. Airtel leading about 27 point. That is the one that is responsible for the market pulling back for the week. Don't forget that in the last 2 days of the week we saw a little rebound because of earnings that are coming to the market. That's why I say investor during the last class I had, just exercise patience. Let's see more earnings coming to the market this week and the next, being the last August. You have your 31 days or 30 days to read the result after the year your quarter end. That end is September 30th. That means between now and end of the month, more results will be in the market. That will not change the face of the market. But the good thing is that also, because looking at what Esther is selling in the market generally, apart from the arbitrage aspect of it, because it's a dual listing company in Nigeria and in London, people can buy here and go and sell, because the price also has become higher. People can go there and buy. Now, flooding the market, bringing the price down is possible. That's why that's the arbitrage aspect of it. But if you look at the company fundamental as Airtel, they are into a social service that no matter what is happening, whether there is no economic meltdown, people still want to call, because traveling from here to Abuja has become more risky than to take your call and call person in Abuja. For that, people, that means their service is already there. For that means the fundamental is intact. It's already the price that is coming down. For me, it's a reflection that yes, people are not doing what we call portfolio restructuring, moving from one sector to another sector. Also consider the price of these stocks and their dividend yield. If you look at the dividend yield of Airtel, at the price of almost 2,000 naira, and that's what GTB will give you, or Zenith will give you. People really sell off Airtel and buy GTB and Zenith Bank. And don't forget that in the Nigeria market, the most consistent sector in dividend payout is the banking sector. Now most of them are cheap, and also we expect that the increase in rates should also impact positively on the banking performance. You know, as investors look at where can I go and make money. That's why I say that don't panic. It's all people don't try to sell all this one, accumulate more here. So the money is still in the market, around the market, because you are really, okay, I'll get a lower dividend in the year, but here I'll get higher. It's your money. You take which one and move. But for me, it's just market oscillation and not the store. But now that we're in any season, we expect that this anything will give us kind of a spike in the market between now and end of the month. But don't forget that from now to the end of November, there will be possible, because December is already at the corner. And end of the year, most of the company award December 31st. That means that end of the year seasonality will come out from November. That means from there, don't worry, don't look at the market and take position. Don't just panic. But like all the people, that this time for you to have what knowledge or experience at your bet. You need to have this. If you don't have knowledge or experience, you'll be jumping in and out of the market because you are fearful. This is not time to be fearful. It's time to more good value on the market. You
know, I was going to ask you what happened, the sentiments that the banking index enjoyed, but I think to a very large extent you've said something about it already.
Yeah, no, looking at the MPR hike for almost 3 times, bank benefits directly from that hike. You don't need to talk more story, because especially at the hiking it, if I've given you loan before, I call you back, we negotiate that loan. You pay me more.
I wish we wouldn't do that.
It's not the banking market. It's the industry mark they use for what they call a monetary rate policy to control the minimum rate you can have in Nigeria. You can have as high as 40, but that would be the minimum. I mean, if I have to add my own management costs, all those stuff, for now it's about 30% for borrowing money from the bank. Commercial bank is high, and that also affect the economy in another way. But what banking sector, they will smile, because automatically all those that are given at even at 15, 17 has moved. It's a profit for them. And don't forget that we were elementary economists. We were taught when we were in secondary school that banks give money toward true interest. That what we're taught in secondary school, that bank money was true interest. Look, that means now bank can relax and be giving interest. I mean, you must pay your money now.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's quite interesting. Okay, so in wrapping up, really, what should we expect today, especially for the week?
Well, yes, I believe that we expect still a missed market for this week, because the more results come, positive one with the right to it. Don't forget that Unilever released the result on Friday, and that result was not too good for the market. I believe that today the market treats Unilever the way where it belongs, because market treats you what you belong. If you post a positive number, market will react. When you get it, don't forget that also when there's liquidity in the system, when you post a positive number, it might not rally more, but to give investor an answer that here we can say. But when you are posting a negative number, when the market is down like this, and we are seeing that the liquidity system, instead of us selling you off to go to where there's opportunity. That's why I believe that the stock will pull down. For those that are long-term investors, I don't know what you do at this point now. As a sell down, whether you want to buy at a low, but for traders, it's time to exit that stock and move for another one, because any season between now, as I said earlier, 4 weeks to 5 weeks, you see oscillation, liquidity will improve, sentiment will improve, in and out of position will be, then market will be more active this period. All
right, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the show. All right. Well, we've been speaking with Ambrose Omodion, the Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting. And coming up, startups in Nigeria face several regulatory hurdles and suffer from a lack of basic amenities like constant power supply and limited funding. But with the new Startup Act, we shall be scrutinizing this, and I will also look at what possibilities this holds for the ecosystem. Stay with us. We'll be right back.